Hey guys, so I've been getting a lot of requests lately to do a tour of my fish room. Basically, I'll take you through, show you how it was all made, how it all works, show you some fish along the way, but ultimately show you that it's not that difficult. So let's go ahead and get started. So my fish room contains 40 aquariums. It's got 6 40 breeders, 4 20 highs, 4 55-gallon tanks, 24 10 gallons, and 2 75 gallons. So, we'll start with the racks that they're sitting on. They were all made by former Cichlid Club of York president Dwayne Walker. He used to run a side business called Van Boona Rack Masters. Great quality, great price. I really wish he was still doing it. So I could definitely go for another rack here in the middle. Here we have our central natural gas heater. It heats the whole room to about 82 to 84 degrees. Well, actually it's up to 88 right now. That's because I have the fan off. Just stagnant heat rising right there. That little gizmo over here, that's a brine shrimp hatchery that my hobby mentor Lonnie made me. Right now I'm not really raising anything that needs brine shrimp, so it's not active at the moment, and the one does leak, so I just have to fix that, but very, very good thing to have. The lights, they are just cheap shop lights off of Amazon that connect together. There's a lot better options out there, but for the price you can't beat it. Up in here we have the linear piston air pump. It circulates air throughout the room, which comes down to these lines and into the sponge filters, which takes care of all the filtration. And then the lids are just a little DIY thing. You just get some glass cut at Lowe's, get this exterior corner molding, and got some lids. A lot cheaper than buying pre-made lids until you get into bigger tanks like the 40s and the 75s, and it's a lot cheaper to honestly buy the Aqueon ones. But that's basically it for as far as equipment and everything goes. And then I installed this. It's basically a magnetic curtain that you put over your patio doors, keeps the hot air in. So I'm not wasting all that. But yeah, let's take a look at some fish. So I guess we'll start right here. And most of these, actually, 1, 2, 3, 4 of these tanks here are African cichlids from Lake Malawi. That's a Pseudotropheus species Lacoma lime, or lime Lacomo. And over here, we have Estata tilapia calyptera. Normally this fish is a lot more yellow. I apologize for the glare. It's not the greatest setup for recording. But yeah, normally they are more yellow, but this specific strain is from Chitsamulu Island in Lake Malawi, and they actually get blue. And yes, you will see algae in the back of my tanks and on the front of the glass. Algae is not a bad thing. Don't let anybody tell you differently. This is a fully functioning fish room. It's not really up for display, so I'm not worried about keeping the tank spotless. Normally these African cichlid tanks have rock walls made up, but I've been very successful with having a lot of holding females in these tanks, so trying to catch them, I personally separate them into a 10-gallon tank to have the fry. So trying to catch them is a lot easier when you just knock their rock walls down. I just have not had the time to rebuild them, nor honestly the desire to do it. Melanachromis auratus. And over here we have Stomatipia marii. They are a critically endangered species from Lake Morombe in Cameroon. That's the female back there. You can see she's a little beat up, but it seems like the male beats her up every time right before they spawn. So, see if I can get close enough. You can see she has a mouthful of eggs right now. She is one species I will not take out of her tank to let the fry go separately, because as soon as you dip that net in, she is spitting them everywhere. It's no use. Then here we got a Lunacara Stuart Grantai with Malarai Island location. That's the male under there. That's females. Very easy to differentiate the two. I don't think we're gonna, you can kind of see them under the sponge filter. Hemicromis exul, I have a pair in there. They just recently were put into the new genus of Rubricatachromis. There's my fish room buddy. And we'll hop over here. We got some red swordtails. And here we have one of my favorites in the fish room, Ammontsellania nanolitia, the yellow convict. Here's the male. Here's the female. Just an absolutely gorgeous fish. That's a care species from Panama. Probably won't see these guys, but this is Andino acara bizariatus. But yeah, I'm not seeing them in there. They're very good at hiding. They're very shy. But I mainly use this tank for breeding mystery snails. You can see there's a clutch up there. In here we have a female Vieja bifasciatus. I have the male upstairs, but he really put a good beating on her, so I brought her down here to heal up. And whenever I get some more dithers upstairs, I'll return her to the tank and hopefully get some fry out of them. In here we have Cyclosoma paraniense, another South American cichlid. Then we have a close relative to him down here, Cyclosoma bimaculatum. A lot of people don't like the natural looking brown gray fish, but I don't know, I really like them. So I'm going to put at least one of these species outside in a big pond this year and hopefully get some fry out of them too. Over here in this tank, this is basically just a community tank we tore down, brought all the fish down here. We got some cherry barbs, random female swordtail, some cory cats. I'm gonna throw these cherry barbs outside this summer too in the tubs once it starts warming up. Did have one little fry randomly hatch in here amongst the Java moss. Down here we have Coptodon snyderi. It's another critically endangered species. They are from Lake Berman in Cameroon. And over to the 10 gallons. Got some platies. Got a lone male Apistogramma agassizi. I did have a pair, but the female decided to bury herself under the rocks and did not make it out. A cool little story behind these snails in here. So these are called piano snails. And the story behind them is a woman in our club recently joined. She ordered pagoda snails from her local store. And when they arrived, they were clearly not pagoda snails. If you're familiar with snails, you know pagoda snails have a very, very distinct look, but couldn't figure out what these were, so she did a lot of research, contacted some marine biologist friends, a plant physiologist. Turns out these are piano snails, which, to any of our knowledge, are not in the United States until now. So I contacted a buddy of mine, it's a marine biologist. He didn't have any extra information. And whenever you look up information on these guys online, everything is based in Europe, and the only place you'll find them for sale is in Europe. So she has a big colony going. She gave me some to have a second person to have a colony, and then my hobby mentor Lonnie also lives close to us. She gave him some too. So right now there's only 3 of us in the States with this snail. So we're hoping in the next couple years we'll be able to get them breeding a lot. She's already having tremendous luck with them. They're a live bearing snail. But hopefully to get them out to some other hobbyists all over the country here soon. That guy's a Pseudotropheus zebra. I had a group of 5, and within a couple weeks he killed all of them. Beautiful fish, but really don't want to just keep one lone guy in here. I'll probably take him to the next CCY auction. Got some Xenotoca eiseni. They're Gudade from Mexico. They're also endangered. You probably won't see these guys in here. This is Ancestris claro, type of bushy-nosed pleco. I'd say they're probably in the cave there. I'm not seeing either of them. Over here we have Herotilapia multispinosum, the rainbow cichlid. These guys just get absolutely gorgeous. I've got a heck of a deal on them. We were in Philly a while ago, so I just scooped up a little group of them. One of Tara's betas. She is a nut for betas and goldfish. Down here we have a tank just absolutely bursting at the seams with least killifish and cherry shrimp. I have to start taking them to auctions, kind of thin the herd out. Here we have Limia tridens, another live bearer. Gyrodinus metallicus, another live bearer. And yet another live bearer, Limia vittata. It's the thing, I'm the president of a cichlid club, but there's always been a place in my heart for live bearers. I love them, that's how I got started. Here's some juvenile Stomatipia mari. I'm hoping to rehome this group to somebody else willing to raise them up and help to keep the population going. Not many people want to keep them. They are an ugly fish, but again, they're critically endangered, so it's important to keep them going in the hobby. That's just a holding female, or was holding. Maybe she's got fry in there somewhere. Another live bearer, another Gudade, Mica splendens, also endangered. And they got, I don't know if you can see them in there, some fry swimming around in there. It's a gold wonder killie. Absolutely gorgeous fish. Unfortunately, both of his females jumped a while ago. I'm going to have to get him some more. Just an absolutely gorgeous fish. The rest of the tanks down here, these are just all fry tanks. Initially, I intended this whole rack to just be for fry, but anybody that keeps multiple tanks know if you have an empty tank, it will find inhabitants at some point. And over here, we have Terra's Oscar. The only Oscar I've ever seen that will not eat another fish. As you can see, well, maybe not. Hide behind a sponge filter. A little lone yellow lab fry, and then a little female pisto in there. He just won't touch anything. And lastly, we got our group of yellow labs again. Normally a nice rock wall down here, but I've had 3 holding females that I had to take out a while ago, and it looks like I got another at least 1 or 2 in there right now. If you were looking to get into African cichlids, this is by far the best species for you. They are hardy as hell, they breed like crazy, and frankly you can find them anywhere. And they're just absolutely gorgeous. But that's essentially it for the fish room. Hope you guys enjoyed. And if you're a non-hobbyist watching this, if you have any questions about getting into the hobby or just fish tanks in general, don't hesitate to reach out.